Zubimendi will be an Arsenal player. We've been telling you that since January. He's one of the best number sixes in the world. Clubs like Manchester City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona have been trying to sign him. I think Arsenal have been really, really clever. They've done a lot of work behind the scenes on this deal. He's got this release clause of £51 million. He's really, really close to Real Sociedad. They're his boyhood club. That's why he didn't leave to join Liverpool last summer. But I think shares the same sort of background and upbringing as Mikel Arteta, and I think he wants to work with Mikel Arteta. And I think Mikel Arteta is really good at selling Arsenal. Do you really need to sell Arsenal? I'm not sure. But he said it himself, that when he gets on the phone... Sorry, I'm not accusing him of tapping up Martin Zubimendi, but Mikel Arteta is very good at convincing players to move to Arsenal. And I think that's what he's done quite a while ago. And now what needs to happen is the contract, the payments all need to be sorted out. The player needs to have his medical, but he will be an Arsenal player. We've known that for a while.
Yeah, he's an Arsenal player. He's a midfielder. Everybody knows Arsenal need a striker. Are they going to get one in?
They're working on signing a striker. They are going to sign a world-class striker. I think the most likely names are Victor Gyökeres at Sporting, Benjamin Sesko at RB Leipzig. Those deals, they're big money deals. Gyökeres, he's got a gentleman's agreement. He can leave Sporting as long as they receive an offer probably above 70 million euros, so around 65 million pounds. He's got an incredible scoring record in Portuguese football. Lots of clubs trying to sign him. Sesko, a little bit younger, but still a great striker. Maybe a little bit more difficult to do that deal because he doesn't have an agreement with Leipzig that he can leave for anything like 60 million pounds this summer. I think he would cost more. But I think you've just got to be a little bit patient. If you're an Arsenal fan, you'll know that behind the scenes, executives at the club are working hard with the new director of football, Andrea Berta, there as well. They will sign a world-class striker, and I think they will get the players they need to kick on next season, because Mikel Arteta has said next season is now or never. Yeah. We have to win a major trophy.
OK, Spurs have won a trophy, and yesterday we were reporting they got offered Leroy Sané. Is he still available?
I mean, this is a really good old-fashioned transfer saga, transfer tale. It's got all the elements that you want. You know, meetings in Italian restaurants, reporters hanging around outside, agents, super agents, sporting directors. Basically, Leroy Sané, his contract at Bayern Munich is running out next month. There you can see his agent, the super agent, Pini Zahavi. Today, he's having lunch in a restaurant in Munich. He was going in there to meet the Bayern sporting director, Max Ebel. And I think what he was saying to Mr. Max was, Mr. Max, you're offering Leroy up to £250,000 a week to sign a new contract. That is not enough. Leroy is a great world-class player. I'm a super agent. I've got other clubs who want him. Clubs like Spurs, clubs, according to the Times this afternoon, like Arsenal, are interested in him. So you've got to think outside the box a little bit. Oh, look at the bigger picture.
Spurs are just being used as a negotiating
I don't know
tactic.
what's happening. Are these clubs seriously interested in signing Leroy Sané, or is Pini Zahavi doing what he's very, very good at, which is creating a market, making sure that he gets the best deal possible for his player? I know Leroy Sané is a very, very good player. I think he'd be a great addition if he was to return to the Premier League, even though he's going to be 30 in 6 months' time. Going back to Pini, though, our colleagues at Sky Germany, they were outside that restaurant this morning, filmed him arriving. They waited there for a couple of hours outside, and they were rewarded when he finished his meal because Mr. Zahavi did stop and speak to them very, very briefly.
Is there a solution already? Did you find an agreement regarding...
No, we have a very good dinner. It was nice dinner, German. Lunch it was, no? Very lunch, enjoy, but no news.
No news? How long are you gonna take time?
I cannot speak about it, but it was nice meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look, Mr. Zahavi, what he wants for his client, he will find a new club for Leroy Sané. And that club could well be in the Premier League because Leroy Sané has family in London. I think he would like to live in London. So we heard from Penny Zahavi there. The only question I want to ask is who paid for lunch? Was it Max Ebel of Bayern Munich on expenses, or was it Penny Zahavi, or is Leroy Sané picking up the tab?
There speaks a man who's never bought lunch for anyone in his life. Now, Mikel Arteta's record as Arsenal manager has been criticised by club legend Thierry Henry. Henry says his old club have underachieved under Arteta and they didn't really compete for the Premier League title this year. Well, Henry told the Overlap Stick to Football podcast, at the beginning, when it's not your team, you need at the very least 3 to 4 transfer windows to be able to change everything that you want to change. It takes time. You have to give a manager time to be able to implement what he wants to do. Now, the last 3 years, we've been in a situation where we should at least bring 1 cup or a final. So I do understand when people ask the question, surely you should have competed for a trophy being in the final. Well, this year we didn't compete with Liverpool. I don't know what people think, but we didn't compete, not once. Now, the transfer window opens on Sunday. Arsenal are already close to making their first signing of the summer. They're edging closer to a deal for the Real Sociedad midfielder and former Liverpool target Martin Zubimendi. Our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, is here. This is an easy one to get over the line?
Well, I think Arsenal have put a lot of work into this deal. Look, Zubimendi is one of the best number 6s in the world. Lots of big clubs have been after him. Last summer, Liverpool tried very, very hard to sign him. Manchester City have been interested as a potential long-term replacement for Rodri. Clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid have been in for him as well. But Arsenal, in the background, have been doing a lot of hard work. And we've basically known since January that the player himself had chosen to move to Arsenal this summer. Now, he's got a release clause in his contract at Real Sociedad, around £51 million. He feels very close to the club, his boyhood club. But I just think, without accusing Mikel Arteta of tapping anyone up, I just think Arsenal have presented something to him that is very difficult for him to turn down. And also, I think he really wants to work with Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta himself used to play for Real Sociedad. They both come from the same town as well. So I think he feels that Mikel Arteta is somebody who can help him develop and become an even better player. And I think, on paper, it is fantastic news for Arsenal fans because he's such a great player. If you remember in the final of the Euros, Spain, England in Berlin last summer, Rodri was injured. He replaced Rodri at half-time, came on in the second half. He looked absolutely brilliant. So I think it's a great bit of business for Arsenal. Obviously, all the paperwork needs to be completed. He needs to have his medical, but he will become an Arsenal player this summer.
Right, but every man and his dog is saying, hang on, they don't need a midfielder, they need a striker. Why haven't they prioritised a striker?
I think every man and his dog might be saying they need a striker, but every Arsenal fan will be saying we need a striker, but we need a midfielder as well. Because Jorginho is leaving. He announced that when his contract runs out next month, he will leave the club. We don't know what's going to be happening with Thomas Partey either, although Mikel Arteta has said he wants him to stay. But they do need a midfielder as well, and they're going to have a fabulous midfield next season. Odegaard, Declan Rice, Zubimendi. But you're right, they need a striker as well. They will sign a striker. They're in for players like Victor Gyökeres at Sporting, Benjamin Sesko at Leipzig. But those are big deals to do. I think they may take a little bit more time. But if you're an Arsenal fan or if you're one man and his dog watching this, relax, chillax, Arsenal will sign a striker.
We'll remember that. Let's talk Tottenham.
And a very good striker as well.
Yeah, all right, let's talk Tottenham then. Obviously, they're in the Champions League next season, need to bolster the squad. So is there a chance they could lose Christian Romero?
Indumentaria, la Kings Limited Gold Edition. Solo hay 50 unidades de todos los equipos y también puede ser vuestra entrando en kingsleague.pro. Así que es los datos a tener en cuenta en cuanto a indumentarias. Gran partido, Gonzalo, Gerard, el que tenemos por delante.
Ojo, ojo, estilo La Bombonera, estadio de River.
Hostia, más minutos de retraso en el inicio, ¿eh? Ya tenemos lío.
Lo llamó Edo, dibujando la parábola sobre la banda derecha, donde en el vértice del área aparece Nadir. ¡Nadir para adentro! ¡Gol! De Nadir Lua, que tiene una facilidad pasmosa. Encuentra a Pablo, que balón para Nadir para el segundo. Se tafa de Cócera, es un golazo. ¡Es un golazo! Señoras, señores, bienvenidos al show de Nadir Lua. Pibe.
El mejor.
Vamos
Haciendo
a ver.
espionaje, ¿eh?
Vaya mierda ha dado, pibe. Va, ya te puedes ir a la cúpula a comer, va.
Tiene que salir Cócera para entregar hacia el centro. Se la regala Coy, le puede pegar Coy para adentro.
Vaya chicha, nano.
¡Gol! De Porcinos Óscar Coy. Ah, pues sí.
Ya, Tony, tienes brazalete volante.
Pero es que, señores,
Que no te lo dije, no.
Tenemos, comodín, ¿cómo lo usamos? Penalti.
penalti.
Venga, será penalti.
Vamos, Cuni.
Puede meter.
A meter en el partido a Cuni. Jordi para adentro, ¡qué golazo!
¡Guau!
¡Dios!
¡Gol!
Pienso, dale.
Vamos con Nadir Lua y con Laura Vizcaíno.
Pues sí, Nadir, 2 goles, victoria y a cuartos, enhorabuena.
Sí, sabíamos que el partido iba a ser muy importante porque veníamos de una muy mala dinámica. El equipo ha estado bien, sufríamos defensivamente y creo que hemos estado muy juntitos. Y nada, primer objetivo cumplido.
Os espera Science, rival complicado, imagino.
Sí, empatamos contra ellos y en shootout
Así
perdimos. Ha quedado segundo por algo. Nada, concentración, confianza con los dos mismos y intentar ganar para el sábado estar en el Wizzing.
Os lo veremos mañana, mucha suerte.